Hi guys, welcome to a birthday edition of Foodie Gardening at the Allotment. We've had the plot for a year now. We got it at the end of last July, so I thought I would do a look at the good, the bad and the ugly over our first year and show you how the plot's changed with some then and now pictures at the end of the video. I still can't believe that somebody gave up the plot at this time of year, because I think it's just the most fruitful time that there is, and we've had so much from the allotment. It's been amazing. Actually, the whole year has been amazing. I don't regret getting the plot at all. Generally, I would say I loved most minutes of it, but what I wanted to show you first was the time in February. I think it was February, it was early spring, late winter, when I had a bit of a wobble and I was wondering if allotment life was actually for me. So we've had a bit of a mooch around the plot and looked at all the buds and given ourselves some quiet encouragement, and you know, we'll get there. Sometimes it's just going to be a bit frustrating, but I didn't really want to leave the video on kind of like we're fed up with the allotment. Generally, I'm a really optimistic, happy, bubbly person, and what doesn't quite come through, I think, in that video is how forced that optimism actually was. I was really very close to saying that's it, the allotment just isn't for me. I think because it had been such a long stretch from getting the plot to going through the winter and doing a lot of digging and not really having anything to show for it, I was really struggling. But I made a deal with myself then that I would keep the plot on for a whole season, so we're kind of in the middle of that season now, the whole year, January to December, and then I could see what it was actually like, because I was aware that I wasn't getting a full picture, if you like, just having it over the winter, because it definitely is like spring, summer, autumn even that is the most fruitful, and we've had so many berries. We actually had the choice originally of 2 plots, and I chose this one because of the berry bushes. And there's a video from last year which I'm going to show you now of me doing my foodie favourites. So that's a video not on the plot, but it's where I talk about all of my favourite things, and then followed by that is a clip from this year on the allotment. I have had to buy them from the store, but we've got our allotment now and there's a raspberry bush there, so hopefully next year I won't have to buy any. I'll be able to grow all of my own raspberries. The raspberries are still coming thick and fast, and we're picking them like every other day, and we've had an awful lot, so this is what we've picked today. A few weeks ago I actually thought I might be fed up of raspberries. A year ago I didn't imagine that could happen at all. Overall, the allotment has been a big commitment, especially with the berry bushes, like picking everything, but it's just been so much fun. It's very different, the buzz that you get from picking fruit and eating it and cooking with it, than just that winter grind of digging over the allotment. But this year I'm planning much more of a winter garden as well, so it won't just be the whole digging over the year. We had quite a few seedlings that didn't make it, and the ones I was most upset about was the tomatoes, but then I went ahead and bought plants of those, and the plants are doing okay now. But the biggest thing that upset me was the gooseberry bush, and I think because it was already an established plant, but when that gooseberry bush collapsed, you can tell from the clip that I was really devastated. It's just snapped off. There is a lot of weight in all of the gooseberries that were on this bush, but you know, the trunk seems quite big too. I don't know if it would be just one of those things that happens with age, or if there's something wrong with the tree, but I've really felt the loss of this tree. I think I had such plans for the gooseberries for it. I mean, we've got another 2 trees, but it is a huge loss, and so much fruit on it that isn't really quite ripe. I'm going to pick it all now and see what I can do with it. It's very sour still, so I think I can probably add a lot of sugar to it, but it's just a big shame. That's been a tough lesson to learn, that these things don't always go as planned. I'm actually going to be moving the fruit bushes around, and I would have been pruning it back at the end of the season, but I really felt the loss of those gooseberries. It was a hard one to take. I know there'll be lots of other failures, and the birds recently have really hammered into my spaghetti squash, but I think I really felt that one because I inherited that bush and it was already here. It was a tough one anyway. We have actually done quite a bit to the plot in terms of changing it. So we've put the shed in and this greenhouse and the bark bit in between. I've still got a lot of plans for for it, and I know Rome wasn't built in a day, and I haven't really got on quite as much as I wanted to this summer, but it's been raining for the last 2 weeks. And actually for this video, because I want to do the then and now pictures, I had big plans and I was gonna weed it all, and it just hasn't happened. But these then and now shots are very realistic, so this is without me getting the chance to titivate it and get some of those weeds out and tidy things up. I'm actually filming this video in the greenhouse because it hasn't stopped raining, and that's another thing that I've had to learn. You know, best laid plans, but you are at the mercy of the weather really. But despite all of that, you can really see from these pictures how much the plot has changed and what we have actually done over the last year. The best thing about making these videos is having that footage to look back on and being able to do those comparisons, because I know in the winter next time if I'm having that bit of a wobble, I can look back and see like, no, actually look what you did achieve. And I have to thank you as well for all of your support and encouragement, especially to Aaron from Aaron's Allotment, because after I had that wobble in the spring, I saw him at the Edible Garden show and he was like, stick with it, just keep going, it's gonna be okay. And he was absolutely right, and I wouldn't change it for the world. It's been an amazing year, so thank you so much for all your support, and here's to another year of foodie gardening. See you next week, guys.